Hi, I'm Luke from Wex Photo Video, and today we're going to be reviewing the three latest lenses that Sigma have launched in their contemporary range. The 17mm f4 DGDN, the 23mm DCDN f1.4, and the 50mm f2 DGDN. We're using E-mount today, but they're also available in L-mount. So let's talk about each of these lenses individually before we hand over to Oscar. The 17mm weighs 225 grams, has a 12cm minimum focus distance, with 7 rounded diaphragm aperture blades. This means the lens can create an incredibly smooth bokeh on an incredibly wide lens. It has 9 elements in 8 groups, and we think it'll be great for those that tend to steer towards nighttime or atmospheric lighting, but we'll let Oscar demonstrate some of that. The f4 will mean that you can create wide and sharp images perfect for shooting landscapes and architecture. Launched at the same time, we have the 50mm. It weighs 350 grams, which is incredibly light for a 50 f2, and has 11 elements in 9 groups. It has 9 aperture blades, so it'll be interesting actually to see the 17 and the 50 as the shoot goes on. Now we're heading into central London this evening, so it'll be really nice to see that side of the lens as well. As a filmmaker, the 17mm and the 50mm are both really interesting, so I'm going to be shooting alongside Oscar with his stills, so we can give you a good sense of both sides. But we also have the opportunity to test out the brand new Sigma 23mm f1.2 DCDN, which is a crop frame APS-C lens. Now usually we wouldn't group this in the video, but we only have a short amount of time to review these and we couldn't resist. Now this lens also comes in E and L mount, but it'll be available in X mount as well. We'll be using it on a full frame camera today, so we can review all three simultaneously. For a crop frame lens, it has a very fast aperture, and it comes in an incredibly light 340 grams. The 23 has 13 elements in 10 groups and 9 aperture blades, the same as the 50mm. Aperture-wise, the 23mm is an incredibly wide f1.4, which is going to be really good for low light situations. The 50mm is f2, which should be low enough for anyone, and the 17 is f4, which is exactly what you want in this kind of lens when it's this wide. Wide depth of field for capturing landscapes and architecture. We expect all of these lenses to have the same kind of quality that you would expect from Sigma. You know, they're durable, lightweight, and they're beautifully made. All are dust and splash resistant and have an aperture ring and a focus mode switch, and are compatible with lens aberration correction and high-speed autofocus, which makes them perfect for shooting in locations like the ones we'll be on tonight. Now you've heard more than enough from me, so let's head out, meet Oscar, and let's see what these lenses can do.
Hi guys, my name is Oscar and I'm a photographer based here in London. Today I'm here with Wex to show you some brand new Sigma lenses, and I love shooting on prime lenses, especially for street photography. So we're going to head out into central London in a few minutes, and I'm very excited to show you exactly what they can do. Okay, so we've whacked on the 17mm and we're going to head to our first location. Ideally for this one we're going to be getting some really nice wide, really cool shots using reflections. So we're going to head down towards Tower Bridge, and hopefully it's going to be a low tide. We can get some really nice shots. Okay, so we've actually just stopped halfway to our next location because we've stumbled across this really cool sort of, it's like a feature which kind of represents all of the sort of landmarks around us. And you can actually get a really nice shot. I've got the 17mm on, and I'm going to get a really nice shot of framing the Tower Bridge on the model, and also I'm going to have the actual Tower Bridge in the background. And I'm going to sort of play around with the aperture. I'm going to get some really kind of shallow depth of field shots, and I think it could be quite cool. So let's just give that a go and see how it looks. We're going to be using the leading lines, shooting between this here, and I think it should look pretty cool. So right now I'm kind of just trying to find the right angle because we're literally working with this really sort of tight space, and because we're on such a wide lens, it's kind of hard to get the exact angle you want. But we've actually got this water here which makes like a really nice reflection. Having Tower Bridge in the reflection, I'm always looking out for reflections, leading lines and stuff like that, so this kind of involves a bit of everything. Yeah, it's really cool. Like my first impressions that it just feels so weird having such a small and light lens on. As I said at the beginning, I really love using prime lenses, so I'm actually a really big fan of the manual aperture ring. It's super satisfying to kind of switch it to exactly what you want. I've only been shooting on f4 for now, but I think a little bit later I might switch to a high aperture to try some slow shutter stuff. Okay, so with the shot, there's actually kind of two shots you can get in one here. So you can get one shot with this sort of part in focus, and then you can switch focus and focus on Tower Bridge. And shooting at f4, you can kind of get a really nice, creamy, bokeh depth of field when you're sort of focusing on this metal structure itself. And then when you switch, this is nice and blurry, and then you've got Tower Bridge in focus. It kind of makes like a really nice shot, and it shows you exactly how nice the f4 is. Our plans have kind of been halted a little bit. We wanted to go down and shoot low tide Thames. Of course, it's high tide, so we can't actually get down there. I wanted to get some really nice low reflections on a super wide angle. So plan B is we're gonna make our own reflections. So if any of you kind of follow my work, you might know that I kind of love creating my own reflections. So I always carry some water with me. So I'm gonna pour this out on this kind of reflective marble surface. I'm gonna get like a really nice reflective shot of Tower Bridge. So if there aren't any reflections, you kind of have to make your own, improvise a little bit. This is probably why I get so dehydrated when I go out and shoot. I don't actually end up drinking my water. We'll just spread this out a little bit, and I'm gonna get super low. And because we're shooting super wide, it means I can get like a really nice 50-50 with Tower Bridge either side of the reflection, and it comes out super, super clean. Okay, so because our plan to go to low tide was damaged, I'm determined not to let that get the better of me. And you're probably wondering why I'm holding an ice cream cone. We've noticed there's a lot of pigeons around here, and I want to get some really cool ultra wide angle shots of the pigeons, and I'm going to try and lure them in with my empty ice cream cone. So I'm going to break it up and scatter it, and hopefully they come close and we can get some really nice low wide angle shots, Tower Bridge in the background, pigeons eating this lovely delicacy, and let's just see how it looks. They've all gone. There you go, go. Right, let's just put it here. So I'm going to stick on a high-speed continuous shooting mode, and we're going to really test out the autofocus and how it can sort of capture loads of different objects moving at the same time. Bit of a tough crowd today with these pigeons. Come on, don't be shy now. Whoa, whoa, you're getting too close. Ooh, that was cool. We're getting there. This is a patience thing. We've got this much of the cone left. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna get a shot. We're gonna get like loads of shots, so hopefully one's all we need. So we're gonna keep pushing. Oh my God, this is it. This is the shot. I think we got the shot. There was one that was just stood there. He's just standing there looking directly into the camera. Doesn't really care about the ice cream cone. He clearly knows a Sigma lens when he sees one. I didn't want to let the pigeons get the better of me, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm pretty happy with that shot. And now we're going to switch to the 50mm f2. I'm very much looking forward to testing this out. I think it's going to be incredible for some street shots, some street portraits and things like that, because the bokeh is going to be beautiful. So let's just get straight into it and see what this lens can do. First location with the 50mm, we haven't strayed too far from Tower Bridge. We're actually going to be shooting Tower Bridge in the shot. We've come to this really nice sort of alleyway which leads really nicely up to Tower Bridge, framing it perfectly. We're going to get down low. I'm going to show you why I tend to shoot low as opposed to sort of shooting at a chest height. Get down low, use a leading line which leads all the way to Tower Bridge, and it's a really nice composition. Okay, so this is a pretty good position for our shot. I'm literally just going to sit down on the floor because I don't have a flip out screen, so I kind of need to be level with my screen, and I'm going to get super low to the ground, and I'm going to set the focus to Tower Bridge, and we've got a really nice leading line which leads all the way to Tower Bridge. It's a very clean frame, and because we're on f2, everything pretty much that isn't Tower Bridge isn't in focus, and Tower Bridge is just there in focus, looking really nice and sharp. And I'm going to show you the alternative shot. So as opposed to shooting down low, we're going to sort of shoot a mid-range shot with the leading line still, but I'm going to show you the difference there, and you can kind of make your mind up as to which one you think looks better. Okay, so one of the really awesome things about this lens is that because it's obviously super small, it's therefore super light. It comes in at about 350 grams. You don't really realize you have anything on your body because it's so light, which is really awesome to chuck in a camera bag. You can have as many lenses as you want in there. And I'm gonna show you what a shot looks like at 17mm and also at 50mm at the same location, just to show you the differences. I really like the punched in 50mm, quite a nice amount of compression with the buildings leading up to Tower Bridge, but equally the super wide is also really cool, but the 50mm just edges it for me. But obviously you guys can make your mind up and sort of decide which one you prefer. But yeah, that's the 50mm. Okay, so as you can see, we have made our way to a brand new location, and it is also complete darkness now. So we were at Tower Bridge, and I've moved over to St. Paul's Cathedral, which I'm very much looking forward to shooting. We were on the 50mm, so on the way over here, we shot some really nice street stuff where it was absolutely pouring down with rain. We got some really hectic shots of umbrellas, people running around, etc. And then we actually stumbled across this really cool car, which was covered in like neon lights, which made for a really lovely shot, especially on the 50mm. The f2 was brilliant for the sort of bokeh, depth of field. And then when we were on our tube to our final destination here at St. Paul's, we kind of stopped on the platform and got some really cool handheld long exposures. So I was kind of shooting some subjects on the platform whilst the tube was going behind them, and we got some really lovely slow shutter shots. And now we are over at St. Paul's Cathedral, where I'm going to be testing out the 23mm. This actually goes down to f1.8, so it's perfect for nighttime. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to shooting with it. So let's just get straight into it. So we've now officially switched over to the 23mm. Now this has an aperture of f1.4, which is absolutely perfect for this low light conditions right now. It's been raining a lot and the ground is very wet, so I'm going to try and get some really cool street portraits of people sort of walking past with their umbrellas and stuff. We've got St. Paul's in the background. It makes like a really nice cinematic, hectic shot. So hopefully if they turn out good enough, you'll see them on your screen. So I'm just going to get stuck in with that now. And we might do a few other things in a bit, but I'll keep you updated. Okay, so to round things off, I'm going to be doing some panning shots. Now these are a bit of a pain at first to get the grips of. It's more of a numbers game. So in terms of my settings, I'm going to be using a shutter speed of 1/15. The aperture is going to be boosted right up. We're not going to be using f1.4 because it's a little bit too shallow. We want to try and maximize our odds of getting our subject in focus. I'm going to have a relatively mid-range ISO, maybe around 500. We're going to be putting it in a high drive mode so that we can get a nice burst of shots. So we're going to be looking out for taxis, cyclists, people on motorbikes, that kind of thing. And I'm going to show you how we get panning shots. And thankfully the really fast autofocus is holding up very well, and it's getting a lot of our subjects in focus. But as I said, it's just a numbers game, and yeah, trial and error really.
So we spent the afternoon and evening with the three lenses that we've been reviewing, the contemporary range from Sigma. How have you found them? You've been shooting with them most of all.
Yeah, I think that's a fair question. So for me, the main thing that sticks out to me is just the size and the weight. Personally, when I go out shooting, I like to sort of feel like I've got as little in my bag as possible. So having these types of lenses where they're super lightweight and portable just makes it so much easier to carry around. And because you can carry around a lot more, it means you've got a lot more flexibility in terms of focal length. So to me, that's a big thing. And obviously the quality is amazing. In general, all Sigma lenses, the quality is something that always really impresses me. And these lenses are no exception. So very, very happy with them.
Yeah. Well, in terms of filming, what I found earlier today was some of the autofocus features were unbelievable. I really enjoyed the 17. being able to capture such a wide angle just allows you to get landscapes in a whole different way, and that you don't get that kind of distortion with a lot of that wide. Usually get like almost fisheye quality, but this one this was really good.
Yeah, and you could tell as well, like the shots of the pigeons as well. Like there was no, like I was literally super close to them, and there was like no distortion or anything. Like it was a super nice pigeon portrait.
The pigeon bit was my favorite. You became pigeon man. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you to Oscar for joining us with Wex tonight. It's been a tricky shoot. It's been weather and various other issues, but it was really fun to work with you.
Yeah,
and
cool.
yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.